working on my book manuscript that is dedicated to the colonial history of the Amazonian rainforest, thinking about the extraction of environmental knowledge from maroon and indigenous communities and how this is built into and coded as science. Botany, agriculture, waterscape engineering, for example, and how these are key to the process of colonization in the Amazon in the 18th and 19th century, and how also this environmental knowledge is key for present-day struggles over land reclamation and defense of indigenous communities and maroon communities over their territories and area. For me, it's very dear to my heart because I'm from Brazil, I'm from the Amazon region, so a lot of the spaces and territories that I address in the book, although in the 18th century, are locations. They're not the same, but they're still very much alive and present in places that I grew up or my family is from. I feel that for my interest in colonial Brazil or colonial Latin America, the class was an undergrad class that I took back in Brazil with a professor, and I think it opened up for me to think about geography and the territory in colonial times, especially thinking with indigenous history of Brazil and the Amazon. But for the case of environmental history, I think during courses that I took at my PhD program at California, UC Davis, where I had the opportunity to think about how environmental debates or environmental struggles are key in this process of politics back even in colonial times, and how there's a legacy on that to present day struggles. Right now we're just finishing up some syllabus for next semester. I'm excited to teach a lecture course on environmental insurgency, dispossession, and slavery in Latin America, which will focus on colonial times and focus in these debates about environmental disputes in colonial times through the lenses of the indigenous dispossession and African enslavement as key elements of that. And another one that I'm developing right now is a pan-Amazonian history of a rainforest, which is going to go from colonial times to the present day, thinking about the formation of a region, the invention of a region, from this colonial taxes into present day histories of environmental extraction of oil and gold, and also fight over territories in the case of maroon communities in Guyana and Suriname, or debates in Ecuador with indigenous autonomy and the question of petrol in the area. So these would be the two classes I'm very much looking for next semester to teach.